Hey, I have this new question for you. What could be the triangle UFOs?
Section 51.
Section 51.
Section 51.
Hi everyone, what's up? I am GH aka DoseGeek back with section 51. First of all, in order to flatter the YouTube algorithm, you know how much I like it. Please let me invite you to like and share this new video. We need to make the section 51's community grow, and we can't make it without your help. Now let's start today's topic. For many years now, UFOs have more than not been identified as flying saucers or disc-shaped objects. Of course, there were other unknown flying objects reports of odd-shaped vehicles of many different descriptions, but these were the exceptions and not the rule. In the last 30 years or so, the triangle shape has become a topic of much discussion. Often reported as flying low and running silent with several lights on the bottom, these strange objects have become an enigma in UFO circles. Sightings of these objects often come in waves, and they are reported as being able to go from a crawl to a high-speed departure in a matter of seconds. On the basis of all the reports, we will use the term of black triangles because this class of UFOs observed during the 20th and 21st centuries is the most of the time described as large, silent, black triangular objects with lights hovering or slowly cruising at low altitudes over cities and highways. Sightings usually take place at night. These objects are often described as having pulsing colored lights that appear at each corner of the triangle. Could they be a part of a government project? Many feel that the triangle UFO may be a top-secret government craft still in the experimental stage and more than likely designed with military implications. Some researchers feel that they are the next step in the stealth series of craft capable of flying low and making their exit without being detected by enemy radar. This type of craft would be indispensable for enemy surveillance, especially with weapon capabilities. I will agree that a good portion of triangle UFO sightings may be attributed to a government-manufactured craft, but this cannot account for all of them. The man on the street cannot know just how advanced governmental or military technological prowess may be, but reports of the flight characteristics of the triangles seem to surpass even our most liberal estimates of what modern technology is capable of. Also, the triangle craft seem to be a dark, mysterious entity, according to researcher and author Clyde Lewis. Triangle sightings in the United Kingdom, for example, are almost an everyday occurrence. He states in his article Mystery of the Black Triangles, there have been approximately 4,000 reports of the triangles since 1990 in the UK alone. Declassified research from the UK Ministry of Defence report unidentified aerial phenomena or UAP in the UK Air Defence region, codenamed Project Conding and released to the public in 2006, draws several conclusions as to the origin of black triangle UFO sightings. Their researchers conclude that most, if not all, black triangle UFOs are formations of electrical plasma, the interaction of which creates mysterious energy fields that both refract light and produce vivid hallucinations in witnesses that are in close proximity. Further, it suggests that the majority, if not all, of the unexplained reports may well be due to atmospheric gaseous electrically charged buoyant plasmas which emit charged fields with the capability of inducing vivid hallucinations and psychological effects in witnesses and are capable of being transported at enormous speeds under the influence and balance of electrical charges in the atmosphere. The researchers note that plasmas may be formed by more than one set of weather and electrically charged conditions, while at least some events are likely to be triggered by meteor re-entry in scenarios where meteors neither burn up completely nor impact, but rather break up in the atmosphere to form such a charged plasma. These plasma formations are also theorized to have the effect of refracting light between themselves, producing the appearance of a black polygonal shape with the lights at the corners caused by self-generated plasma coloration, similar to the aurora borealis. Once again, this is one theory among many others, and I must admit I'm a little skeptical. Recently unredacted sections of the report state that Russian, former Soviet Republic, and Chinese authorities have made a coordinated effort to understand the UAP topic, and that Russian investigators have measured or at least detected fields which are reported to have caused human effects when they are located close to the phenomena. According to the Ministry of Defense researchers, Russian scientists have connected their UAP work with plasmas and the wider potential use of plasmas, and may have done considerably more work on military applications, for example using UAP-type radiated fields to affect humans, and the possibility of producing and launching plasmas as decoys. On March 30, 1993, multiple witnesses across southwest and west England saw a large black triangle at low speeds. Analysis of the sightings by Nick Pope, a British journalist who became interested in UFO sightings, concluded that the object moved in a northeasterly course from Cornwall to Shropshire over a period of approximately 6 hours. The sightings report clearly visible objects over densely populated areas and highways, mostly in the United States and Britain, but other parts of the world as well. A geographic distribution of US sightings has been correlated by a currently inactive American-based investigative organization, the National Institute for Discovery Science, which led to a July 2002 report which suggested that the craft may belong to the US Air Force. However, a subsequent report in August 2004 by the same organization found that the rash of sightings did not conform to previous deployment of Black Project aircraft, and that the object's origins and agendas were unknown. There have been several triangle sightings in human history. We can quickly enumerate some of them in this video, but I think that every sighting could be the subject of a single video on its own, because there is so much to say and we have so much information and theories available for all these reports. For example, did you ever hear about the 1561 Nuremberg celestial phenomenon? This phenomenon is fascinating. The 1561 celestial phenomenon over Nuremberg was a mass sighting of unidentified flying objects or celestial phenomena over Nuremberg, Germany. A broadsheet news article by Hans Glaser on the event reports an aerial battle between various odd-shaped objects, including the appearance of something like a black spear, very long and thick. This may or may not be an early reference to the Black Triangle UFO. We don't have the time in this video to deepen the subject further, but I would like to study this story in another video later. Promised. There have also been waves of triangle sightings in Belgium, France, Holland and Germany, beginning with the most celebrated wave of all, the 1989 to 1990 triangle wave over Belgium. In this particular case, in addition to triangle sightings, other anomalous events took place. As some of the triangles were picked up by military radar, jets would be scrambled to get a close look at exactly what was invading Belgian airspace. In fact, 2 Belgian Air Force F-16s which attempted to intercept the objects. However, although the jet fighters could briefly lock in on the mysterious UFOs, when their weapons were set to fire, their electrical systems would malfunction and soon the triangles were out of range. A second unusual fact during the Belgian wave was the inability of eyewitnesses to capture the objects on film. There are a couple of fairly distant videos of them, and finally, one good photograph was taken in April 1990 in the city of Petit-Rechin. This photograph clearly shows a triangle-shaped object with red lights on the belly. There were approximately 1,000 sightings of the Belgian triangle, and many of these were reported by ground observers who could clearly see the craft and took what they felt would be a good, clear picture. However, when their film was developed, the image was blurry and had no probative value. This fact came to the attention of Auguste Missin, a physics professor who was employed by the Catholic University at Louvain. He developed a theory that the photographic failures were caused by infrared light, and he proved his theory through scientific experiments. What this actually means is open to debate, but it appears from witness statements that the farther away the triangle was from the photographer, the better chance to get a good image. The sightings over Belgium were investigated, and there was no doubt that unknown triangular-shaped objects moved over the country for about 2 years. They were caught on radar, seen by pilots and witnessed by a general cross-section of the public, including policemen. No explanation could be given except to say that something very unusual occurred in the Belgian skies. This is one of the best examples of the triangle UFOs. And there are many other black triangle UFO sightings, like the Phoenix Lights incident in 1997, the Southern Illinois incident in 2000, Kansas and Texas sightings in 2014. I'm sorry, but it would take too long to study them on a case-by-case basis. Let's consider this first video on the subject of the black triangle UFOs as a kind of introduction. Of course, when you talk about triangle UFOs, the term of TR-3B or TR-3B Astra immediately comes to my mind, and certainly to your mind too. Indeed, when we talk about triangle UFO sightings, alien investigators often mention the TR-3B in their reflection. But what is the TR-3B exactly? In fact, it could be a triangular spacecraft said to be made at Area 51 using alien technology. As everyone knows, I presume, Area 51 is a top-secret US military base where UFO conspiracists, or rather UFO believers, I would say, claim the authorities conceal evidence of aliens visiting Earth from the public, and even create new secret spacecrafts based on recovered ET technology. We have today many reports of witnesses claiming to have experienced some bizarre sequences of events after getting close to the US Air Force base located in the Nevada desert. So let's start with the beginning of all the story of the TR-3. Firstly, we have the TR-3A Black Manta, a kind of surveillance aircraft of the United States Air Force speculated to be developed under a black project. The only evidence for such an aircraft is based on several reported sightings of mysterious flying triangle aircraft over Antelope Valley, an area of desert in southern California. This stretch of desert draws people interested in potential black project aircraft because it is close to several known military research and testing areas such as Edwards Air Force Base in California and United States Air Force Plant 42. According to many rumors, the TR-3A was said to be a subsonic stealth spy plane with a flying wing design. It was alleged to have been used in the Gulf War to provide laser designation for Lockheed F-117 Nighthawk bombers for targeting to use with laser-guided bombs. The TR-3 was claimed to have been manufactured by Northrop. Edgar Fuchs claimed in 1999 in a BBC documentary he was former Area 51 employee, able to describe another more exotic tactical reconnaissance aircraft called the TR-3B Astra. Yes, here we are, the famous TR-3B, a successor or cover for the TR-3A built by Lockheed Martin Skunk Works, which would also be a space plane of a new kind using a top-secret gravitational shielding engine called the Magnetic Field Disruptor or MFD. Besides being a non-confirmed claim, the physical description of the MFD engine is often said to be pseudo-scientific and impossible. How the TR-3 designation came up in the publications is unclear. It is clearly not a continuation of the R for Reconnaissance series, since ER-2, the NASA designation for U-2 aircraft modified for Earth science studies, stood for Earth resources and not electronic reconnaissance. It is therefore possible that TR-3 is merely a corruption of TR-3, a name given to a cancelled large reconnaissance unmanned aerial vehicle UAV, flying wing designed around the time of alleged sightings of the Black Manta. The TR-3- program that resulted in the unsuccessful Lockheed Martin RQ-3 Dark Star was a scaled-down derivative of the original TR-3. TR prefix would also be fitting for tactical reconnaissance as opposed to strategic reconnaissance or SR, as in the SR-72. Because there is little evidence to support TR-3's existence, only sightings and experience stories by real people and also the web discussions on it, it is possible that the mysterious flying wing sightings associated with Black Manta could be a technology demonstrator for a potential new generation tactical reconnaissance aircraft. This contention is supported by United States Air Force sources in the late 1980s, confirming that the United States had no short-term plans to develop a low-observable U-2 successor. So for the moment, I would say let's wait and see. Maybe one day we will know the real truth about all this. Who is right? Who is lying? Which truth can we trust? I think it's just a matter of time before new events happen again, confirming the real origins of these strange black triangle UFOs. Perhaps through the accumulation of testimonies we will eventually get the truth.